Hello, everybody. Last Thursday, Suzanne and I presented week 3, the power of thoughts and the law of attraction. Well, unfortunately, there was a glitch in the recording, so we've decided to re-record it, except Suzanne's unable to make it on the call on this one. So the re-recording you're going to hear will be my voice only. Each week before we get started, we'd like to just take a moment and set an intention. So while we're doing that, we're going to ask each one of you to silently do the same. In other words, just take a moment and decide what it is you'd like to get out of our time together as you listen and watch. So for me, I'd like to just set an intention that we set the tone for a sense of community and sharing and supporting one another while we begin to open up to more ways and practices to help us manage our emotional energy so that we can enjoy a more balanced, joy-filled, energetic, and generally healthy life. I hope you've taken a moment to set your intention, and I know if Suzanne was here on this call, she would say, Wanda, I just would like for everybody to get what they came to get from the session, that we're all on different paths and that we all may hear something different, but at the end of the day, that whatever is heard will support each one of us. So let's get started with the topic. We're going to start with the power of thought. Have you ever, let me just ask this question, have you ever thought about your thoughts? Wondered where they come from? Or pondered how much power they have over shaping your life? If you're like the vast majority of people, you really don't pay attention to these electrical impulses. You don't give it much heed as they travel along the neural pathways in your brain. And most of us go through our lives taking little notice of our thoughts. Instead, we go through our lives eating, working, talking, playing, worrying, shopping with little or no awareness of the content of our thoughts or the power they have. Yes, I did say power. You may not realize it, but your thoughts and words are the force that create your life. That everything in this world started with a thought. Every invention began with a creative impulse. The light bulb first existed as a glimmer in Edison's mind. And so your thoughts lead to your words, and your words lead to your actions, and your actions lead to your reality. You can't have any link in this chain without what comes before it. This means that your thoughts have a profound effect on your life and your circumstances. Interestingly enough, scientists estimate that you have somewhere between 30 and 60,000 thoughts a day. That's crazy. That's a lot of words, scenarios, worries, and dreams floating around in our mind on a daily basis. Humans tend to either dwell in the past, think about things we should have done differently, mistakes we've made, fighting our guilt or worry about the future and what might or might not happen next week or even next year. Even more unsettling is this, that scientists estimate that up to 70 to 80% of these thoughts are negative. Not at all good news for our chances of achieving our desires and having, the ability to manage our emotional energy. And so 60,000 thoughts a day is incredible. 57 of these are habitual. 45,000 of these are negative in this life. I mean, altogether, that's a lot of thoughts. So we must begin to try to turn some of those 45,000 negative what-ifs into what if it were possible. So your thoughts not only create your current reality, but they also become a roadmap to your future. You probably have the power to create your life your own way. You absolutely do. You just need to know that. It all starts with your thoughts, because your thoughts and your words are so powerful. You need to be diligent in choosing the good ones. You have to be. No matter what you're experiencing in your life right now, you just got to know that you're not a victim of your circumstances. You can co-create your life through your thoughts and your words. What this means is that you are responsible for your world. Even if you don't like where you are right now, know that you played a large role in creating this reality with your own thoughts and beliefs about your world and yourself. Realizing that you create your world through your thoughts, you can make a change and a shift. Let me give you an example. If a person focuses on how miserable they are in their own circumstances, or how many of their prayers have seemingly been unanswered, then they'll continue to grow in their discontent and their hostility towards God. On the other hand, if a person focuses on what's working in their life and feels emotional gratitude for existing blessings, even in the midst of challenging circumstances, then they will begin to align themselves with the spirit of positive possibilities, which then has an equivalent effect on circumstances. The law of attraction works in response to thoughts that have become energized. So the question that begs to be asked is, what if you deliberately focused your attention on something that you wanted to experience in your life, something you deeply desired to manifest, or something that you constantly thought about all the time? Would the laws of attraction bring it to you? And the answer is yes, always. Gary Keller says it this way. Gary Keller, the founder of Keller Williams Real Estate, which is a huge organization across the United States and beyond. In the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, he says, what you think about, you bring about. Mark Victor Hansen and Robert Allen, in their blockbuster book, The 1 Minute Millionaire, explain it this way. They say that everyone manifests. Some people manifest abundance, while others manifest lack. If you don't have what you want, they say, examine your thoughts. Ask yourself, how did I manifest this? They go on to say, you are the fruit of your thoughts, the thoughts that you have planted and nourished. If you want a better harvest, then you must think better thoughts. Thoughts are things. Every thought has a consequence. No thought lives in your brain rent-free. Just like a peach or an apple seed will not produce a peach tree, poor thoughts will not produce prosperity. So what kind of thoughts do we struggle with from time to time? One of the experts say that the awful thoughts that keep repeating in our mind, automatic negative thoughts, or the ants as we are using an acronym, automatic negative thoughts are those little lies you repeatedly tell yourself that you can negatively impact, that can negatively impact your life every day. So eliminating these little lies from your self-talk is crucial to creating the life you desire. Many of these thoughts are echoes of words, unfortunately, you heard in the past from your parents, teachers, and loved ones. Ants are disapproving and pessimistic little thoughts that jump into your head without any help from your authentic self. They're like little pests that keep coming back day after day. And even the most optimistic person isn't immune to these pests. But most optimists have learned to flip them from negative to positive. The difference is that if you're unaware of the automatic negative thought concept, you'll repeat negative things that you say to yourself and to others. While those who recognize the ants for what they are will begin to push them away and push them aside, knowing it doesn't really reflect reality. So these ants are reflective this way. Ant number one, have you ever recognized you or someone else saying always or never? This is called always or never thinking. And ant number two, notice focusing on the negative. Do you notice the people around you that are always negative? Ant number three, fortune telling. Just projecting yourself in the future and saying same things these little ants will say to you. That'll never happen. That's not going to go anywhere. And then ant number four, mind reading. Thinking that we know what other people are thinking. And then ant number five, thinking with your feelings. These are just 5 of the automatic negative thoughts that we sometimes contend with. And then the Buddhists have a term for the continuous flow of distracting babble in your head. The monkey mind. The monkey mind, the voice, the one that's in your head, jumping around, chattering endlessly, shrieking, and otherwise clamoring for your attention. The monkey is notorious for telling you everything that can go wrong. The monkey is very fearful, afraid of everything, worry of everyone. The monkey tells you all sorts of negative, unproductive things, making you go over and over the same scenarios in your mind with no solutions. The words you use in your mind and when you speak is the drunk monkey speaking. It's not you. If the monkey starts saying things to you, recognize that this voice isn't you. It's merely a thought. So how do we get rid of these ants and these drunk monkeys? Well, recognize, again, that the thought is not you. And let it pass through. Don't listen to its negative, troubling, screaming comments. Choose another thought. When you recognize that your little drunk monkey's on a rampage, choose a productive, positive thought that sets you in the direction of the life you desire. Then next, engage in what you're doing. To start to tame the little drunk monkey, you need to learn to be more present in the present moment. By paying attention to your surroundings or to what you're doing instead of the monkey, you'll naturally quiet the chattering. And when your mind is engaged, the little drunk monkey has a more difficult time grabbing your attention. Think about the different people in your life, your spouse, your kids, your friends, your boss, coworkers, and siblings. When you listen to how they speak, you can get an idea of their predominant thought patterns and begin to understand what this is all about. Do you know someone who continually bashes his or her spouse or talks about having no money? Someone who is always talking about getting a cold or the flu? I'm sure that person who speaks unkindly about his or her spouse isn't experiencing the best relationship. And I'll bet you that the person who talks about not having enough money is always just scraping by, regardless of how much money they make or how hard they work. And I'll also bet you that the person who talks about getting sick all the time does get sick all the time. Remember, what consumes your mind controls your life. So now that we've spent a little time on the power of thoughts, let's discuss the law of attraction. Beth Meisner, a friend of Suzanne's, a colleague at least, who wrote some very nice things in the foreword of her book, Nourish to Flourish, also has a book entitled Jesus and the Secret, where the Word of God and the law of attraction intersect. Beth is a very religious person and really needed to dig deep into how these two concepts, the Word of God and the law of attraction, intersect. So she writes this, that we live in a spiritual world expressed by physical reality. It was created by God and revealed or manifested to us in such a way that we thankfully can live in this natural world and experience the transcendence of God at the same time. God has set natural processes and laws into place which govern our experience of both the natural and the spiritual. She goes on to say that she believes one of those natural laws is the law of attraction. You've all heard such things as like attracts like, birds of a feather flock together, as above, so below, what you send out comes back multiplied many times over, and ask and ye shall receive. Think about these phrases, and you'll have an idea of what the law of attraction really is. Simply put, the law of attraction asserts that a person's thoughts attract objects, people, and situations and circumstances, both positive and negative, into his or her life. So how does law of attraction work? In her book, Beth goes on to say that science tells us that only 4% of the universe is measurable, visible, and observable. That reveals a lot about the vast nature of this wonderful God and how amazing his thoughts are, since that leaves the other 96% of reality in the realm of the invisible. The words of 2 Corinthians 5th chapter 7th verse become even more meaningful when we read, we live by believing and not by seeing. It is easy to experience the 4% that we can see as real and let it hold our attention, pulling us away from the fullness of the other 96%. So we have accumulated 6 processes that we want to share with you to help you to use the law of attraction in your life, if you choose to. The first one is clear the clutter, confusion, and negativity from your mind. Try deep breathing, meditation, prayer or quiet reflection, reading your Bible to release any doubt or conflicting ideas or disbelief. Be calmly but intensely focused on the thing you desire to manifest. And most importantly, ask for divine guidance. Then, number 2, set the intention to manifest something and make a mental imprint of your intent. No fuzzy thinking here. No weak or wishy-washy dreaming aloud. Be bold and let your mind wrap around the possibility that the thing you most want is already allocated to you by this abundant universe and this great God. Perhaps what is coming is even bigger and better and more beautiful than your desire is even. Allow for that in your life. That reminds me of Oprah Winfrey in an interview, several interviews, where she said that she had no idea. She knew where she wanted to do and where she wanted to go in her career, but had no idea that it would blossom to this magnitude. So allow for that in your life. And then number 3, be expectant. Be ready to receive. Believe you deserve it, and it's yours now. And then number 4, visualize yourself having it. Feel the emotion associated with getting what you desired. Resist the temptation to question or concern yourself with how the universe rearranges itself to allow your desire to manifest. In other words, don't worry about how. Just know. This is where you suspend disbelief. And then number 5, feel and express gratitude for the blessings you already have, the gifts of the universe that the higher power makes available to you, and the power that makes each manifestation possible. And then step number 6, repeat these steps as often as possible. So that's our presentation tonight, the presentation of the power of thought and the law of attraction. We sincerely hope that you're able to take away some ideas, some processes to really enhance and energize your life. You know that we always give you a workbook, and the workbook for this week's lesson will be posted in our closed group session, 12 Weeks for Manifesting Your Goals in 2017 is the name of the group. The first, you have you'll have one workbook with 4 steps, 4 sheets. And the first one is to help you gain greater clarity on what you want. Sometimes we're not really clear on what we want. We think we know, but we're not real clear. So this was created to help you with clarity. The second one is to help you raise your excitement level, to get excited for that which you've asked for. The third one is to help you remove resistance. And the fourth one will support you in having more awareness of the good stuff that's showing up in your world. Then, as always, you will receive energy notes to support the lesson. And then look for a call from us. We will, now that you've finished and completed Goal 101, the exercise, you're ready for your 30-minute goal review session. And we will be contacting you to set that up this week. So congratulations on taking this third step to mastering your energy to reach your goals in 2017. As you embark upon this next week, may we collectively set an intention for each other, an intention that says that we will gain clarity and inspired action that will begin to influence the steps we take and the plans we make in the upcoming weeks. Again, congratulations in making the decision to invest your time and your energy in yourself in this way. We're going to close with an affirmation. I'm going to read it, and then if you will read it with me, that would be amazing. I attract everything that is for my highest good into my life. I attract everything that is for my highest good into my life. We'll see you next Thursday at 6 p.m. for our fourth topic, which is conquering negative emotions. Have a great week, everybody.